Whenever you're
I'm Sister Marlene Weisenbeck, and I learned about Brighter Tomorrows some years ago when I was doing a lot of anti-human trafficking work in the La Crosse area, the La Crosse County, and surrounding counties. And it was during that time that I learned about Brighter Tomorrows because I was invited to speak with them and to provide a little training about human trafficking today. Learning about Brighter Tomorrows motivated me to be a sponsor for them at some small level because I was impressed with the stability of leadership there through Jan Bruder. I was impressed with the very quiet underlying way of serving people. There just was an ambiance there that I could tell made people who have experienced violence and assault very comfortable in receiving their services. I also like Brighter Tomorrows because they provide basic needs. And that's what I think a person needs when they are down and out. And so I'm very pleased to be a sponsor of this particular grant for Brighter Tomorrows.
Thank you, Sister Marlene, for your kind words. I remember the first time we interacted, and I got to also learn about the FSPA. So I am really excited to be here today. I'm Jan Bruder. I'm the project director here at Brighter Tomorrows. And we've been providing direct services to survivors of abuse in Monroe County since 1996. And I've been able to be a part of this project since 2008. And I was also a volunteer here in high school, and that's when I found my passion for helping people that are in need. Because when I was volunteering here, I realized that I was growing up in domestic violence and that I was in an unhealthy relationship. So I was really excited when I turned 20 to be asked to be a community educator here. So here at Brighter Tomorrows, we currently have 3.5 staff. So we have myself, a full-time victim advocate, a part-time therapist, and recently we added a therapy dog to our team. And so far, our grant cycle here goes from October 1st to September 30th. And this year, we provided direct services to almost 400 survivors of abuse and had almost 800 meaningful contacts with those individuals. So we know that there's a big need in our community. We've seen a steady increase in the number of survivors we're serving, and we've also seen an increase, unfortunately, in the severity of violence that's happening. So if you or someone you know needs assistance, you can reach us at 608-269-7853. We are also available via social media, and we have a website. The services we provide are kind of a wide range of services, and we always remind folks that they're in the driver's seat. So if you come in for services here, you can pick which options best meet your needs. So I would say probably our most used service is our supportive listening and emotional support. So maybe a survivor of abuse is looking to share their story and get some support and guidance in that process. We can do that. We also have a 24-hour crisis line. So if something happens and you're in crisis at night or on a weekend or during a holiday break, you can always give us a call and there'll be a victim advocate to speak with. And we also do a lot of safety planning. So sometimes folks come to us and maybe they want to stay in their relationship and they want to know how to do that safely, or maybe they're getting ready to exit a relationship and they're not sure quite how to do that in the safest way possible. So that's an opportunity for us to connect with the survivor and talk about physical safety and financial safety, safety as it relates to technology, and then whatever individual questions they might have too in that safety planning process. And then we also do a support group. So our therapist here facilitates a 12-week interpersonal skills group, and any survivor of abuse can join that support group. So sometimes folks worry that if they don't want to participate in our other services, they might not be able to participate in support group. And that's not true. Anyone that's interested can reach out and we'll put you in contact with our therapist for that service. And then we also do a lot of information and referrals. So we work really hard if we can't meet the needs of the survivor to find some resources that can meet those needs, because we know that we can't do everything that someone might need. So we really connect with other folks in the community as well. And I wanted to take some time not only to talk about our services, but to talk about how the FSPA has supported our programming over the last few years. Um, and right now, across the state and nationally, domestic violence and sexual assault victim advocacy programs are losing significant amounts of funding at no fault of our own. There's just been some changes at state and federal levels. So we are really relying heavily on the support of our community partners to continue the work that we do. So the FSPA grant has helped us to ensure that we have a safe, confidential location to meet with clients at. It also helps to ensure that we can have our 24-hour crisis line after hours, and that even includes interpreting services. So sometimes folks might call us after hours and English isn't their primary language, and this funding helps us to have access to over 250 different languages. And that also includes video interpreting. So if someone needs American Sign Language, we can help with that as well. And then our funding also helps us to meet some of the financial needs of our clients. So oftentimes the folks we're working with are working towards living independently, but they're in a really tough spot. Maybe they need help with rental assistance or an emergency hotel stay. Sometimes folks need transportation. They might want to access our services or access therapy or maybe get medical attention, but they don't have a way to have transportation. So maybe they need help with a gas card or with a cab voucher. A lot of folks come to us, maybe it's a Friday and the food pantries are closed and they need access to food for themselves and their children. We can help with gift cards for things like that. People might need a gift card for clothing. So really, the FSPA grant helps to ensure that we can meet some of those financial needs, and so we can continue to provide services to folks in our area. So we just really wanted to stress how much we appreciate that support. And as an agency, we usually do a lot of community education and outreach. So if anyone viewing this video would like someone to come to their agency or organization and talk about the various types of abuse, kind of the dynamics of that, what services might be available, and even best practices for when folks interact with survivors of abuse, that is a service we also provide. And we also do community education pre-K through 12th grade. So far during this grant cycle, we've reached almost 1,000 students, and we can really focus on what those individual needs are. So maybe there's a group of kiddos that are really struggling with appropriate ways to engage with one another. Maybe there's a group of older students that needs help learning about what a healthy relationship looks like. Those are the kind of needs that we can meet within the schools too. And we've also utilized our FSPA funding to help with that, because oftentimes when we're working with students, we find out that their basic needs aren't being met. And some of this funding can help to ensure that we can help with that. And then we're often connected with the parents in those families too. So it's really kind of a wraparound service. So if there's anything we could do to help support the community or do outreach, feel free to reach out for us for our services for that as well.
Thank you, Jan. As you describe all the services at Brighter Tomorrows, it makes me think that as a member of the Franciscan Sisters, we have joined hands in order to reach many people in need. And the way that the services are structured and delivered there at Brighter Tomorrows tell me that they are individualized and highly relational. Just the tone of your voice tells me how gentle you receive a person who comes for help. And you collaborate with so many other agencies in the area and probably outside the county too. I remember once that you were actually a resource for me when someone came and asked a question about where they could get help. And I said, I know where they can get help. They can get it from Brighter Tomorrows. So thank you for the way in which you perform your services, the way you reach out to people and hold their dignity in your hand.
Thank you so much. And thank you for your continued support and this opportunity to provide education about our services.
You're welcome.